Here we are in a level 8 type question. Graph the polygon of constraints defined by these inequalities. X is greater than 1, so that is going to be a vertical line. Here is x is equal to 1, so x is greater than 1 is everything to the right of 1. It's greater than, it's not equal to, so it's a dotted line, and everything to the right, I'm just going to put a little right arrow on there. And then the next one, y is greater than or equal to negative 5/9 x plus 46 divided by 9. That's our b value, and 9 goes into 9 times 5 is 45, so this is about 5.1 repeating. 5 is right here, so I'm just going to go to the nearest whole number, to the 5, and then I'm going to figure out my slope, which is negative 5 over 9. Delta x is 9, so I'm going to move over 9 in the x direction, and then delta y is negative 5. Negative 5 in the y direction is down 5. 46 over 9 is 5.1 repeating. We need to get it closer to 5.1 repeating. So I'm just going to zoom in on my 5. So I'm just going to, with the magnifying glass, I'm just going to click on the 5 and it will zoom into there. We want to go to 5.11111. With the line tool on, with the snapping off, I'm just going to grab the 5 and drag it up to 5.1 and just a little bit past, close enough. Double click on the magnifying glass to zoom out, back to my line tool. We are shading above and it's a solid line. But to get these two things to agree, I'm going to lift this arrow up. They agree inside this space. The next inequality, y is greater than or equal to 7/4 x minus 63 over 4. 4 times 16 is 64. This is going to be a little bit less than 16, so 15 point something, 15.75, negative 15.75. So I'm going to go to my negative 15 for now, plot my point there. The b value is approximately negative 15. I got to turn the snapping back on. The slope is 7 over 4. I'm going to move over 4 and then up 7. And we're shading above is greater than, and it's a solid line. Zoom in on the negative 15. Just translate up a bit. We're trying to get to 63 over 4, which is 15.75. I'm gonna go to my line tool, 0.75. I have to turn the snapping off to get to that. I'm just gonna drag this down. 15.7, here's 15.8, so halfway between 7 and 5, right about there. Double click on the magnifying glass to zoom out. Turn the line drawing tool on to grab the little arrow and drag it up here so that it agrees with this area here. Y is less than negative 16x plus 61 over 6, which is 10 point something, 10 and a sixth. I'm just going to go and draw my snapping on, draw my point at 10, my B point at 10, and the slope is negative 1/6, so move over 6 and down 1. It is less than, so I'm shading below and it's dotted. We got to get this right to the 10.16 repeating, 10 and a 6, 61 divided by 6 is 10.16 repeating. Let's zoom in on that. Just click on the 10 with the magnifying glass on and keep clicking and you will zoom into that point. 10.16, about here. Turn on the line tool, turn off snapping, grab the line and drag it up to 10.1. There's 10.15, so 10.16, a little bit higher, something like that. Double click on the magnifying glass to zoom out. The arrow is where I want it, that's fine. These are my 4 inequalities, and now I need to graph the polygon of constraints. Notice the vertices of the polygon of constraints. I mean, some of them are on actual integers, but a lot of them aren't. We're going to turn off snapping, turn on the polygon tool, and you drag it as close as you can to the vertex. If you need to fine tune, if you just use the arrow keys, it kind of moves over a full square each time. But if you hold down the command key, or you press the command key down here on the keypad, command, then as you move, it fine tunes. You can use either of those, but either command keys will work. Let's turn off that command key. That's the A. I'm gonna go around counterclockwise. Here's my B, and here's my C of our polygon of constraints, and my D of my polygon of constraints. And there we go. And then we press enter to see if we're right. And that's how you do a level 8 type question. Have a good day.